Our next guest is known to millions of fans for her dazzling creative kids books. She's an award-winning illustrator and author and mom who created the mega best-selling phenomenon, the Pinkalicious book series. Since the series launched in 2006, more than 30 million books have sold and remained on the New York Times bestseller list. The series has been adapted into a popular live stage musical and a hit TV show. My goodness. I'd like to welcome Victoria Kann to Sidewalks. Victoria, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. It's really a pleasure to be with you today on this very, very special day.
Yes, it is such a special day. And first of all, Victoria, congrats on all the success from Pinkalicious. That is amazing that it's done what it's done so far.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's truly been a wonderful, thrilling experience.
I wonder, what's your favorite color?
Well, I do have a preference for pink. I have to admit, but I love all the colors in the rainbow.
That's awesome. I made sure to wear pink today to kind of pay tribute.
What is your favorite color?
You know, honestly, I like the color white, which is an odd color because I guess it
Oh,
encompasses all the colors.
yeah, that's the whole spectrum.
Yeah, it is. Well, Victoria, I wanted to kind of look back on your career and kind of move towards how this whole phenomenon got started. Before you created, this whole Pinkalicious phenomenon, what career path led you to the world of children's books?
I was actually doing a lot of illustrations for magazines and newspapers, and it was a very tight turnaround. Like I would do illustrations for like the cover of Newsweek or Time, and often I would only have a few hours to do the work. And then I had a child, and it was impossible to do those kind of editorial deadlines. And I looked around at my friends who had work, and they were children's book illustrators, and they were booked for years. I would never know what was going on each week because each week I would get calls. So, it was impossible. I could never have a schedule. So I thought it would be really fun to write and illustrate children's books. So I took my portfolio and I went around to children's book publishers and I showed them my artwork, and they said, "We can't even imagine your work as a children's illustrator." And even though I had come up with
Really?
a special portfolio, they said, "We will never hire you. And the only way you might possibly get work is if you wrote your own story." So I sat down and I actually wrote a bunch of different stories. And Pinkalicious ended up being the one that was really the most fun and the best one, and the one that I was able to finally get published.
Yeah, that's amazing to hear that because you just never know. Like you just kept trying and you never gave up, it sounds like, and you finally got this beautiful idea off the ground and running literally. So I'm wondering for you, how did the idea for Pinkalicious kind of, get started for you?
Um, I, well, I really like to laugh and I really like to have fun. And my favorite day of the year is April Fool's Day because you get to tell a lot of stories. Pranks are just making up stories. And I told my friends and family in an email that my daughter had turned pink from eating too many cupcakes, and and that she got pinkatitis. Now, it wasn't, everybody knew that my daughter loved the color pink and loved pink cupcakes. So some people believed me. And one of my friends was supposed to come over with her daughter for a play date. And she said, "I'm not coming over. I don't know what pinkatitis is. It could be contagious." I called the pediatrician. He said he's never heard of it, but to be safe, don't go. And I told her that it was an April Fool's joke. And she said, "Well, you've got to make that into a children's story." So I was very, very lucky that I found an amazing publishing company, HarperCollins, that was supportive of it.
Yeah. Oh, that's so amazing to hear, but out of a joke. How crazy that that happened.
Right.
Oh, wow. I love it. Well, that's so interesting because it sounds like you've also had, not only the story of the joke, but I think, did you have some family involved that collaborated with you on some of your books as well for the artistic
Yes.
creations?
Well, when I began the process, my sister and I worked together. So she worked with me on the first two books, and she's actually a doctor, and she went on to focus her energy on healing people. So
Oh, wow. That's amazing. Oh, wow. It's so great when you can have like a family member support your creativity.
right.
Okay, well now moving on from Pinkalicious, I mean, there's so many books a part of this series. I mean, it's probably the list is long, but now you have another installment to this long list of the series called Rubylicious. You got to tell us about what inspired this next installment of Rubylicious.
So here's Rubylicious, and a lot of kids throughout the country, when I go on book tour or book festivals, they always tell me what their favorite color is. And I am slowly working through all the colors of the rainbow, as you can see from these books. And so many kids love the color red. So I thought, well, what would I do? Would I do Redalicious? Would I do Scarlet-alicious? Would I do Crimson-alicious? Would I do Ruby? Ooh, Ruby, that's also the name of somebody. Who would that be? And so I came up with this character who is named Ruby, who comes to Pinkalicious and Peter and grants one wish. And here she is in the beginning of the book, and she's very nervous, and you can see she's sort of in a tattered shirt, and she's a bit of a mess, and she's very, very anxious. And she's very, very fearful. And she tells them she says, what is your wish? And Pinkalicious and Peter come up with wishes. But every time they say what the wish is, she says, I'll show you what that looks like, but it's really not a very good wish. And let me show you. And so they go through these series of wishes. They never get to make a wish. And in the end, Ruby is hiding underneath the covers because all the wishes scared her. So Pinkalicious and Peter are very generous, and they say, we can transform fear. And they wish that she was brave and that she has courage, because when you have courage, you can come up with solutions. So they're very kind, and they give their wish to her. And as you know, in life, when you let go of fear and when you're very kind, it can be transformative. So in the end, Ruby transforms and wears a sparkly outfit and is able to come up with their wishes, but to have solutions so that they're not scary at all.
Oh, that's amazing. I love that. You got lessons to learn and messages to share in your book for your readers. It's beautiful. I love that, especially because of fear. That's the one thing that we want to teach our children. Don't be scared. You can do this. Give them the support and the courage to keep going after their dreams and their wishes.
Exactly. And honestly, I was illustrating this during the lockdown. So, I mean, there's so much fear in the world today. Every page I illustrated, I was like, oh, I need to hear this. Is this book written for me or is it written for the world? I mean, it really resonated for me. Daily, I have to say, I need to problem solve, and I need to continue to be open-minded and continue to be curious. And how do I do that? How do I let go of the fear?
That is beautiful. Well, Victoria, I just wanted to kind of close this out with this question. Obviously you have such wonderful books that you've created. Did you ever think that these books would become as popular as they've become? And why do you think your readers are so captivated by the series?
I'm just so grateful and honored to be able to work, to be honest. It's difficult for artists and writers. Not everyone gets that opportunity. So I am humbled that I have had the opportunity and to do my books. And it's really been a privilege and a very exciting and thrilling journey for me. And for children, my goal is really to connect with kids, to connect with their heart. In my mind, pink represents love. So if I'm saying think pink, I'm saying think love. And who doesn't want to connect with that message? So my hope is that kids enjoy that.
Oh, I love it. That's beautiful. I'm sending you a heart right now. That's amazing,
Oh.
Victoria. I love your stories, and I can't wait to share with my 3-year-old your books because
Oh,
she's
how
new to
wonderful.
all of this stuff. And thank you for being our guest today on the show. We look forward to much more from you, so please come on back and talk to us here at Sidewalks about your next book. I'm sure you'll be
Thank
busy.
you so much. Have a Ruby-tastic day.
Oh, thank you so much. Same to you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, thanks to our talented guest, Victoria, for joining us today to talk about her book, Pinkalicious. Her books, Pinkalicious and Rubylicious, and any of the series are available at bookstores everywhere. All right, everyone, we have more Sidewalks entertainment coming your way after the break. We'll be right back.
For more full-length celebrity interviews, visit sidewalkstv.com.